even race for the presidency could come down to North Carolina's undecided voters. That is according to a new poll from Elon University, which came out just a few hours ago.
WXII 12's Kelly Kendall is live in Rockingham County to break down more of the findings. And Kelly, what are those numbers showing right now?
46% of those polled said they're voting for Kamala Harris. 46% said they're voting for Donald Trump. It's an uncertain race, and voters we spoke to are equally uncertain as to how this race is going to turn out.
We are a state where it really could not get any closer, according to our
Dr. Jason Husser is the director of the Elon University polls that have asked hundreds of North Carolinians about the 2024 election. In this late stage of the race, he says his poll found a critical 4% of North Carolina voters are undecided in the presidential race.
My thought on where North Carolina will end up after election night is going to really depend upon how the undecided voters ended up voting, and specifically what was on their mind when they entered the ballot booth.
It's a toss-up, and voters know it. We spoke to Rockingham residents voting for Trump and Harris. None were completely confident the election would swing their way.
I'm feeling flabbergasted, I guess, that it could be that close, that she's not pulled out in front decidedly.
I sure hope so, because I don't think it's going to be real good for my kids and my friends' kids and everybody else that's underneath my generation if he doesn't.
They are also uncertain about what will happen after the election. The Elon poll finds 49% of those surveyed were not at all confident that Trump would accept the results of the election. 21% said the same of Harris.
Somebody might have an issue, with wanting things to go a certain way, but I don't know how far they would go.
There will be recounts to be asked for, especially if Trump is not the one that's coming out on top as far as candidates go.
It's not as peaceful as it's been in the past between the two parties. I just hope that we can just accept it.
Husser says on both sides of the aisle, more than 60% of people think the other side will try to change the electoral outcome, leaving voters not only uncertain, but on edge. In Rockingham County, I'm Kelly Kendall, WXII 12 News.